Good morning and welcome back to another Did They Really Do This on YouTube? It's nothing to laugh about. It's not. It's hard to believe that this keeps happening. Puppy in my lap, you know better. Um, so I decided to give this Onora a chance the other night and listen to what they had to say. And I really couldn't. I'll be honest with you. I didn't last very long. Texted a friend and was like, I can't do this. It's like my ears are bleeding. I can't. And so about that time, DCP came on live. He was walking his dog. So I flipped over there. And about the time that I came in, I'm not sure what was said before. I'm not going to go back and rewatch or listen to the whole thing. I'm just not. It when I popped in, he literally said, "People think I'm trying to make money off the back of N." That's farthest from the truth. I'm paraphrasing. You can go watch it yourself, figure out what he said, but this is what he said, but maybe not the exact words, but pretty much. But I put the video out, and it's members only. If you were in there, you saw the greens lighting up. Bing, 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 bing. People joining membership. Okay, so any tier could see it under membership. The lowest was $1.99, which, I mean, I'm not neither here nor there, but you sold that story to your viewers or people who wanted to see it for at least $1.99 at minimum. You're gonna make money off of it just releasing it to the public anyway for people watching it and getting the view count, but you chose to up the game and get some members out of the situation. You're making money off the back of N no matter how you look at it. So I skipped out of there. I'm not gonna join a membership just to watch a video early that's exploiting a child. No, not gonna do it. By the time the video came out to the public, off of the members only, apparently, and the members will have to explain this one because they're the ones that saw it, but apparently he showed the text messages from the mom to Alicia. In those text messages, they disclosed more content about N that how is that okay? How is that okay? Did that help your story because you deleted it, you took it away, so obviously it wasn't the end all be all to make this story. But let's kind of go back a little bit just to the text messages. I'd like to go even further back, but let's go back to the text messages. Apparently, and this is just secondhand information, the text messages start off with mom asking Alicia for food or money for food. Alicia says no, and then we get into all of this, and here we are today. Like I said, I haven't seen the messages. He got a conscience somewhere in between there and decided that those weren't to be public and took them down. However, go back to the mom. Mom's in a vulnerable state. Mom's lost custody of her children, or I'm not saying full custody, you know what I'm not. She hadn't lost all rights to her children. That's not the case here, but she lost the ability to say when they eat, when they go to sleep, when they go to school, when their, doctor's appointment is made. That she's not allowed to do that stuff anymore under the conditions that she's in. So she did something which all points to drugs, and that's been alluded to in other context of creators talking about what happened. I'm sure there's more to it, way more, but that's just the bottom line. So I invite you to stay away from Onora and DCP in this situation, but do your own research. These are my feelings. These are my personal opinions. Hypothetically, what it is, I mean, it is what it is. But I invite you to go watch Ontropolis. Ontropolis is now doing content on well, I don't know if you know, when COVID started, then they put in place where you could do court online. So now they have court online, and they're doing a lot of child CPS cases online, and you can view them and watch them and get a little insight into the process of how this stuff works. I have some firsthand knowledge. I've never had CPS in my life, so not that firsthand, but I do know people who have had to deal with CPS, and it's not a pleasant experience, and by any means. But the ones that all that I know, nobody's been in a life or death situation. I mean, it's been dangerous for the child, but nothing that they had to like immediately sever everything, nothing like that. So reunification is the first process that they attempt. So when they come into the home, if there's nothing wrong, they walk away. If there's something just a little off, they try to make a safety plan and get you to do a couple things and make it a better living situation or better conditions, or help you mentally be better prepared to be a parent and deal with whatever's going on in your home. Um, in majority of the cases that I've seen in any, whether online or in person, the first attempt is to place them with a relative. If you're a divorced spouse or separate, the other parent would be the first. If that's not suitable, then they go to grandparents, maternal, paternal grandparents, and it just goes, the list goes on, and they try to keep them with a family member first and foremost. If that doesn't happen, then they allow for I have an aunt that's not my biological aunt, but she's been in my life since day one. I have another woman that's like a second mother to me. She's not a stepmom or any type of bonus mom in that respect, but um, so they go to the next available after family, and then foster care, then group homes, then it depends on the level of treatment needed and stuff. But so my point is that they go to the parent first to get a list of who they, so then there's some reason that maternal and paternal grandparents or close family members, could be siblings or to the mom and dad of the custody situation, um, they got ruled out for some reason. Whether they didn't want to take on that responsibility, they couldn't take on that responsibility, they didn't have the proper housing for those children. There's some reason that the family was skipped over to go to Alicia in the next case scenario. So all of this has to do with the mom that lost custody of her children, first and foremost. And why this has become such a big deal for Alicia is because she took in these kids and given them something that mom couldn't do in the moment. And then now it kind of comes out that mom's a little wanting something from Alicia and didn't get it. And then that's when she gets upset and starts going to the YouTubers to do this. So take it with a grain of salt of what mom is saying and what mom is doing. And remember that the bottom line and what's all come out is that mom may have some issues to manipulate to get what she wants out of a situation. I haven't met a person that's went into addiction yet that hasn't manipulated in some way to get, oh, my bill needs paid, and they get the money and go use it on drugs. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not trying to point any fingers or say she did this, but if you know anybody, you know what I know, and you know. So I'm just trying to not plant a seed, but use your brain, use what you know, use what's plausible and possible, and you know and I'm always under the impression that it's possible mom lost him for no reason whatsoever. It's a possibility, but it's pointing in a whole different direction now. So I'm kind of lost that plausibility of, just to be honest with you. But go watch Entropolis. See what happens with the judges, with the courts, with the caseworkers, what they with CASA. CASA's another one, and that's a court appointed special advocate. And everyday people can become a member of CASA. You go through some training and you meet with the parents, with the child, and it can be other people also. It's kind of like being a private social worker to some degree, not to the extent of social worker, because they go to school and get some training or get some guidance in that. And this is just more classes that you take for CASA, but you can then have a voice in that child's situation. So all these people who want to do something positive, go join CASA in your community and be a personal advocate for these children in your community, not the children online, because that's a whole nother issue. But if you feel the need to make a change in the world, go join CASA. Do it. Or get your degree and go into social work. I don't know, but to minimum level, go sign up for CASA. They need people. The kids need you. Do that. But anyway, so in that situation, then you'll hear about a GAL. That's a guardian ad litem, and that's a lawyer for the children. They determine the legalities of what's right and wrong for the children. So we have the social worker, the CASA, the guardian ad litem. The parents are given a lawyer, and all this talk about, and I know there's court-appointed lawyers that don't do jack for people. I get that. But all this talk about the court-appointed attorney, go watch this. There's some great ones. So don't think that they're all just whatever, and don't fight for the parent, because they do. Even in some of the worst situations, you will see a court-appointed attorney fight for their client. So, I mean, there's always a bad apple somewhere. So just understand that and go with that. But look at it for yourself. Do something for yourself. And this thing about calling this community that these children are in and raising a stink over there, that's not going to help anybody in this situation. I don't know if I watched it or read it, but somewhere on DCP, in a pinned comment, I think it is, to that video, he says the bottom line is the kids should still stay with Alicia. Are you kidding me? You're raising all this ish, and I mean, I think they should stay there. Let me say that first and foremost. I'm just upset that you went out of your way to cause all this drama and trouble for this family, for all of these children, all of them. And then now your bottom line is that they should still stay in the home with this horrible, terrible, manipulative, exploiting person. I mean, where do you put your head down at night? And I don't know all the logistics, but my understanding is he has children in his home that are not biologically his, and they are family members that he adopted, and my understanding is nephews, so I'm just assuming that they're either his nephews or wife's nephews, but they're in his home as his children now. You've been through this. You know what these kids go through. Why are you doing this? Why are you harming these kids? You know you are, and you know what they go through when they go into the system. It's insane to me that you're even involved in this, just for what, clicks and views? Because I've been around for a while. I was there when he was doing the Truthy Magoo and all that crap. So this is a whole new ball game for him, because it gives him some attention. So y'all just think about that. Get involved, but in the right direction, in your community, yours. If you have a family member, I mean, something's going wrong, reach out and try to help that family, your family. This going into someone else's home and dipping your hand into their situation, that's not helping anybody. Like I said, the CASA, they can use you. Trust me, I think it's CASA.org. I'll look it up. I'll put it in my description once I find it. But it's an organization, so I'm assuming it's a .org, but court-appointed special advocate. And you can do it. You can sign up. You can do this. It takes a lot of your time. You don't get paid for it. It's a thankless job to many, but you're helping a child, and you're doing it the right way. And you get to be a voice to that judge for that child. So do that. Please do that. Because there's a lot of people who want to get involved right now, and you can do it. So do it the right way. Two people I recommend right now to watch on this situation are Not Another Housewife and Abadabs. I'm going to link their channels down below also. They all have different experience than I do. Like I've mentioned before, I went to school for paralegal. I have a degree. Not doing that, not giving any legal advice, but these people are messing with this mother's ability to gain her children back. They're not helping the situation. Watch Antropolis. You'll understand what I'm talking about if you watch some court cases and see what's going on. But now mom has a restraining order, and these people speaking on her behalf to go after this family is being a third party harasser per a court order, in my opinion. So think about that. Don't hurt this mother any more than she's already hurt. What I would like to hear personally, mom, if you're listening, or if somebody watches this that has connection to mom, what I would like to hear is what mom's safety plan involves, what steps they've asked her to do. Typically, they're going to ask for random drug testing. They're going to ask for treatment as far as drug treatment, whether inpatient, outpatient, so many counseling sessions, personal counseling, family counseling, reunification counseling. There's so much, but she knows what she's supposed to be doing. It's in a safety plan. It's in a what is it called? I forget the actual name of it. It's not a recommendation. It's requirements. It's a list of requirements that they have to do to be considered to be safe and have changed their ways to get the children back into their home. Then we have that issue too. She doesn't have a home to take these children to. Why are y'all fighting so hard for this? Do you know what a group home's like? I don't think you do, or you wouldn't be fighting for these kids to be taken from militia. Then, sorry, my brain's in freeze mode, and it's firing and exploding at this situation. But so the whole fight was to get these kids away from her, get these kids to a safer location, get these kids into a loving environment. Not that they're not right now, in my opinion. However, that was the fight. The minute that someone alluded to the fact that maybe the children would be taken out of this home or sent out of this home, whichever way, whether somebody pulled them or they were pushed, however they got out of this home, then everybody's like, oh, how could you do that? If you love the children like you said, how could you do that? Are you kidding me? You fought for this. You wanted this, and now you want to know why it might happen? One thing about YouTube I've learned, there's a lot of great people on here, and I've met a lot of great people, and through my comment section, I've been in the communities for years now. Great people. But it's also a place where people who don't have such great intentions are. People who are lonely, people who are ostracized from their own families and don't have human contact very much except for YouTube comment sections and stuff. Be aware that is happening. Be aware that you're talking sometimes to a mentally ill person, that, if you say, go get them, that there were people that literally sounded like they would pull their car up and take the children to their homes because they thought it was safer. That's not okay. That's insane. That is insane. That you would even put that seed in someone's head they're so in danger, they got to be removed. People were willing to remove them. Literally remove them. Think about it. So let's keep these kids safe. They're not safe with their mother right now. Mother said father's not safe. So we could, I don't know, father, haven't heard from him yet as far as these YouTubers go, but I don't know whose judgment to trust at this point except for Alicia, social workers, judges at this point. So let's not hurt these kids anymore. Let's not give these YouTubers that membership money just to watch a video before it comes public and read some text messages that we have no business reading. And like I said, I haven't read them. I'm only going on what's being translated from what people saw before it was taken down. So, grain of salt. I can't put my hand up and swear to that, attest to that. I can't do it. But, I mean, sounds like it happened. So, help me. Help me to understand why this is okay. I know so many who don't think it is, but there's some I've had some comments in my comment section that it's like, but Alicia hasn't harmed these children. Whether they're supposed to be on the internet or not, that's a whole different aspect of the situation. But physical harm is only being presented from this other side that's against her, period. So that's the only harm that could come to these children is what y'all are creating. So let's stop that. Please go out and help your own community. CASA. Join CASA. All these people who think they got the answers to everything, make it happen. Make it happen. But in the right way, through the legal system. There's, like I said, I'm going to put Anthropolis down there. Watch how these cases go down. Watch the steps to try to reunify the children back into the parental home. They do stuff to help the parent. So watch that. There's other ones out there. I know, it's Harris County, Houston. They have Harris County. I don't know. But there's ways to actually watch the court itself when it's happening. And then these are like not clipped, they're taken from and reaction content made out of it. But it is the exact court case that you would see from the other channels. So watch that. There's another guy named Mike. I can't think, Mike the lawyer, Mike something. I don't know. If you watch her, it'll probably pop up in your recommended eventually. I can't remember his name to save my life. I know his name is Mike and he's a lawyer. But do that and see how this works out. See how the real life stories work out. And this is a real life story, but it's being dramatized for the internet. So just understand some people are doing it just for money and content. If you have it in you to do something the right way. I appreciate y'all for listening. Thank you. I do appreciate it. I think I'm at 150 subscribers, maybe a few more. I don't know. I haven't checked in a little bit, but I appreciate it. Every one of you. I thank every one of you for clicking that button and coming back to watch something else I put out. This is all from my head. This is what bothers me about the situation. I appreciate you. I really do. Like, subscribe, leave me comments, even the bad ones. I mean, you're not really going to convince me a whole lot different unless you have a really solid case. But to just tell me Alicia's bad doesn't work for me. I'm sorry. So, but you can leave it. I'll read it. I'll heart it. If I read your comment, I heart it, just so you know that I've, read it. I may respond if I have a response to it. But if there's a heart by your comment, I've read it. So thank you. I appreciate you. Have a good day.